all jacked up on Mountain Dew.
I love that. Welcome along to episode 7 of 5-Star Sodas. We are here to taste even more lovely fizzy drinks, and we've got a guest with us. It's Craig Kneale from Untitled. How are you doing, Craig?
I'm doing well, very well.
Al, how are you?
Yeah, good mate, feeling festive, extremely festive.
Is that because of the fake snowballs?
That's exactly what's causing it. I was low on the festive vibes until I stepped in here, and it's washed over me.
It's perked you up.
Nick, how you doing?
Right up.
I'm good, mate. I'm good.
He doesn't sound festive.
I know. Good.
I was kind of eyeing up my snowball to think whether I should try and hit the camera or not. But maybe do that right at the very end.
Do the left-handed throw.
That's how we end it.
Is that a thing?
If you there's videos if you on YouTube of if you get a guy to throw his weak hand and then slow it right down. It's amazing.
let me sidebar there and say, have you ever heard of, when you're driving and you always brake with your right foot?
Yep.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever tried brake with your left foot?
Aye.
Yeah.
The guy told me this on a motorway. He's like, you should try brake with your left foot. I'm like, I mean, what's the difference to that? Nothing, man. You should try it. He put his all through the window. Whoa!
Yeah, that's the transition from a manual to an auto. You need to watch that. If you ever get a courtesy car, that was my first experience. They were like, you ever driven an auto? And I just defending my masculinity. I'm like, look, I drive in. I could drive a tank out here. And as soon as I pulled out, I just went to brake, and the muscle memory just puts the thing on the floor. And I was like, just imagine them all looking out the window every time, man.
I'm going to pull you up about auto cars.
Auto cars?
Do you remember we were driving from LA to Vegas?
And
we got an auto car. And you wouldn't let me drive it because I'd never driven an auto car. So you literally robbed my dream of driving the Chevy through the desert.
I was the only one that was insured.
Well,
I didn't think you could cope with
that.
That
That wasn't why.
road.
You just were scared that I would crash it.
Of my two cars, one's an automatic, one's a manual, but it's usually when I go back into the manual and I'm like, what the fuck is that noise? Oh, it's first gear. It's first gear at 30 mile an hour. That's what it is.
Craig, you've probably got extreme dexterity between both feet. That this is not an issue to you.
No.
I have the opposite. It took me 10 times to pass my driving test. Genuinely 10. That's not even an exaggeration.
The guy was just going, your pedal game is amazing. Just keep driving into pedestrians.
Yeah.
It's just, I can't pass you, mate, but I've never seen someone clutch control this.
The clutch foot would be too
clutch
late,
game
man.
is so
I just refuse to stop. Just at any red lights, I just went right
Although
through.
Craig's style of drumming, man, he probably just leaves the hi-hats just open, man. He just rattles them everywhere anyway.
We've had a few mad driving stories from touring together though. I think my favourite's probably the hurricane, not the hurricane, the tornado.
Yeah, that was
terrifying.
I remember this vaguely, and I know it's an amazing story because I remember.
I tell the story because people will always ask me what stories from touring if I'm doing talks in schools. Do you remember much about it?
I remember it being. I think I wasn't taking it as seriously because I was taking photos and everyone else was very scared, and I think I was too busy taking photos, and then I just remember everyone really quiet.
I remember because in the van it would be drivers wee row at the front of the van, then there was a middle row which was usually me and Barry, and then behind that was Sam and Ross, and then you were in the back corner. You were always right in the very back row. And there was
Just a van.
Yeah, it was just a Sprinter van. But it was quite big. It was bigger than what we would normally have in the UK.
Yeah, for it was weird for an American van. It was it was a kind of UK style van. But
I remember lying down watching my iPad in that wee row, and then I could hear commotion. I was like, what's going on? I
Who was driving?
Paul She. And it was looked up front. I thought it was fog. And I was like, it's gonna be weird. But then as soon as we hit the fog, it was the stones and the mud and all just hitting the side of the van. And I was like, what do we do? And we were just daft guys from Scotland. I remember Paul trying to follow the line at the side of the road. and then stopping. Do you remember stopping and there being a road sign?
Yeah, and the road sign was
but it just blew away. The road sign was tune into this radio station for weather information. And as we were trying to tune into the radio station, the road sign blew away.
Was it just Wizard Dollar shit?
Aye.
It's Twisted You.
I think Fraz Yuri was.
This is the part of the story that I think I remember. You were Fraz was melting down. He was
Yeah,
not having a good time. That was just he was like.
Fraz listens to the show, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, basically at this point, what we should do is actually maybe chop in the video that I've got on my phone of this entire thing going
You
down.
filmed it?
Oh yeah, I filmed a lot of it. But yeah, it was.
I've never heard this.
I think Fritz was about 12 years old. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the part I
looks
remember. I know.
But
He was always the handsome younger version of Andy.
I remember at the end of it, because we were meant to drive further on, but we stopped early, and we stopped at a petrol station. And I've got a photograph of you with no top on. In fact, I think your top might have been on your head, standing in the middle of this petrol station, and it was like, we're alive, we're alive. Good
remember
times.
that?
I just don't think there's enough hurricane training in schools here. Like,
I
you
know.
get out there and you don't know what you're doing.
It was kind of cool. After I was like, that was
Oh
cool.
yeah, after we realised we weren't going to die,
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
one of those good stories. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it.
Now you're telling on the Christmas episode of your podcast.
Aye, talking about Christmas, so it is the Christmas episode, so we're going to try and make it a wee bit festive.
We've already done that. We've got the fireplace.
Oh yeah, we have.
By the way,
do
watch us how them bun
Aye,
each other.
I was wondering why it was so hot. But we've got some festive drinks, so we'll just go to crack into the first one.
Yes,
do it
please.
then.
Whose is it?
It's yours.
Whose is it?
Mine.
My drink's not festive.
I know, that's fine. Not
Sorry,
all of them are festive.
not all of them are.
festive.
We
You
can.
wonder why the American people that watch
thank
this
you.
that have messaged and said they're really struggling to keep up, and you said, "Whose is this? Who's
Whose
like-
is this?
the pace is just off."
I didn't
Right,
know this
so
was a thing.
Off the bat, we're talking plastic 500ml.
Plastic 500
And
ml,
zero sugar.
Zero sugar.
Points deducted.
cinnamon cola.
I mean, I only brought this because the shout on the group chat was Christmas drinks.
Yeah.
And this certainly is Coca-Cola's attempt at being festive, out of the traditional Santa Claus advert.
But it's weird, Coke have started to do that with a lot of their flavoured ones. It's all zero sugar, and I think it
Yeah.
must be something to do with the syrup. They think it puts too much sweetness in it or something like that.
Sugar tax.
And then I should have.
But like, why not just? I mean, because I've got full fat cherry Coke downstairs.
Full fat, there's that Scottish thing. It's nothing full
Put the
fat
big
about
light
it.
on because I'm having some full fat.
It's
Coke.
organic, full fat Coca-Cola, guys.
Let's just get straight because we've not had a Coca-Cola yet.
Have we had a plastic bottle yet? Oh, football special.
Yeah, but
RIP.
we've not had a
Oh
Coca-Cola.
no, and Jennings is.
yeah,
Amber
the
extra
Irish,
was
yeah.
But we've not had a Coca-Cola at all. So this is the one of the first big gun.
Oh
right here.
man, I'm gonna lie. Mine didn't
Yes.
crack open there, man. I think something's been in this.
How'd you get them so cold? These bottles.
It's a bag of ice.
There's a bag of ice beside you, mate.
What's ice?
Oh, it was definitely cinnamon in there.
Do you know what that's like? Off the bat, clearly, it's like eating a cinnamon roll and drinking Coke at the exact same time.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. It's not like cinnamon flavored Coke. It's
Do you know what-
literally I've
actually-
had
And see because it's zero Coke, this is exactly like going to IKEA
And
Getting a
yes, 'cause
cinnamon
They don't
roll
have any.
and taking like the sugar-free cola
the pure
and
fake
just
Coke.
like kind of having a bite, having a sip. Like some people are fucked up like that. I mean, I can be as well, but like drinking and eating at the same time, like fucking up flavors. I don't know why I do it. It's like pure bad
I mean,
habit.
that's not. This is not a pure steak and a fine wine job. This is
No.
like exact. I don't know if it maybe had the sugar in it. If it would. I mean,
I like
no
it.
one. I was just about to say, no one really gave.
I like it.
It's not.
Do you know what I would say about
It's
it
not
though?
terrible.
Weirdly feels like a stupid, like a breakfast soda.
Is that a thing?
No, it's not a thing.
But it's like this is like something I wouldn't mind cracking. See if I wanted a drink pre like midday, I might go with this.
What about this is somehow qualifying that to you that there's okay?
I
to
don't know,
drink
just
this?
that cinnamon vibe is.
I think it's just like a cinnamon roll at a breakfast buffet
I'm
in
right.
some American
I am
hotel.
so into like Scandi culture, and like I feel like cinnamon's like the sort of like collective smell and flavour of.
Oh, when you get off the plane in
Scandinavia.
Norway, it just reeks of cinnamon, obviously.
I actually, do you know, this is probably for a soda podcast, this is bad, but I haven't really drank carbonated juice for like 10 years because when I
You're
was...
going to be so far in at this.
I know.
years.
Because when from the age of like 12 to 18, it was my dad was basically in charge of getting us ready for school in the morning. And he just didn't know what to do, so he just said we could have what we wanted. So I used to have like a 500ml bottle of Coke
For breakfast.
and cookies. I had Maryland cookies and a Coke for like 6 years.
With the
None of
Stevie-
this information
I'm
was
just
given
get
to us
the same.
ahead of this podcast. Why not just sack just for 10
I was
years?
going to say,
Yeah.
does Stevie just have protein shakes?
Stevie being your brother,
He lifted me.
I need to know what he's going to have.
He did. He like deadlifted me after I did all that stuff. But yeah, so I mean, but now obviously I'm the fittest guy, handsomest guy in the world. But I don't know I just drank Coke for 6 years.
What do you think of that then?
Well,
I
just,
really
just,
like
just,
it.
just before we go into the scores, as we have a guest, I will just remind of the
Yes.
scoring principles that must be served cold, must be drank out of the bottle it comes in. if it's not carbonated, it doesn't count, and it's scored 0 through 5 on a point basis. So
And for guests, Craig, this is a podcast as well as a radio show, an internet TV show. So speaking in the mic.
Multimedia. Sorry.
Speak a wee bit more. Maybe
I've got a very quiet voice.
No, I
as
know, but
well.
that's why we turned you up. But I can't turn up that much. Now. You're a little bit like Springsteen back here, that
That's what I'm aiming for.
Springsteen. Like.
So,
Yeah,
right, so
the New Jersey Devil.
what would you say about our normal drink levels? So anything above a 3 is a good solid recommendation. That's agreed. By all of us.
That seems to have been established as.
Yeah.
Well, a 3 is like a guaranteed.
Go out and buy that right now,
Recommendation.
We're not guaranteeing it'll be good, but you should go and make your own mind about
Aye.
it. Anything below a 3 is, tread carefully.
Not in the decimal system as well.
Yeah.
Of course.
I mean, to kick us off, I'll just give my score.
Set
I'm
a
not
tone.
going to say much about it,
Set a
but
tone.
I'm going to go 2.4.
Ooh.
That's all right.
You go, Nick. I'm taking the part and sip.
Of course you are, man. You always take such a sip. I like it. I'm at this time of year. I would probably pick this up before if you're in a jam and there's no fun stuff happening in the
Jamming it a bit,
fridges.
just jamming.
Well, say you're on the road, just driving
home for Christmas.
Driving home for Christmas. You should try it. How many Christmas songs can you get in today?
We'll see.
You're at the Marks and Spencer's food shop, getting yourself a rubbish sandwich on the road.
Because this seems to be the only place you can pick this up is Marks and Spencer's.
Pick up one of these. 2.8.
2.8.
I like it.
Craig,
Keep
Craig,
drinking.
what are you going for?
Has anything had like a 5 yet?
Some one
Oh, it was a
crazy guest.
It was a
gave
fake 5.
Yeah,
It was a
it doesn't
fake
count,
5.
doesn't even count as a 5.
See, I really, really like Coke, so I'd go high. I'd maybe go like a 3.5.
Oh,
Nice.
That sounds fair.
That's a good solid score.
I'll be honest, right? I don't really mess with Coke Zero. I don't.
No, me neither.
If I'm having a Coke, I'll go all in.
You go full fat.
I go full fat. And I've dabbled with all these new flavours of Coke and Diet Coke that have came out. This is probably one of the better ones for me, I think so. And although I'm not mad on it, I will say it's a solid recommendation. I'll go 3.1.
Nice. Can I say this just real quick? For a zero Coke, I don't think you're missing. I don't think you're missing any sugar.
I disagree.
I think
I
so,
disagree
man.
massively.
I don't
man.
like.
I think the cinnamon's doing its thing.
Nah. I mean, I think that's why a lot of the flavours are on 0 sugar, because they think it'd be too much. But for me, that's why I don't like it that much. It needs.
No, but it's like it can't
needs
be.
more.
I mean, obviously you get like skinny, like vanilla latte, so like the syrup is zero cal, but
I feel like that's different though.
Yeah.
I feel like
no calories.
see when
I don't know. I
when
don't
the
miss a sugar on
OG
this.
vanilla Coke came out.
I would rather
Coke
have
with the vanilla. It was crazy.
Yeah, but I'd rather have a vanilla Coke. I'd rather have a Coke than that.
Aye.
I don't really understand. This is just a quick sidebar. See the idea of making everything 0 sugar and all that stuff. I get it because some people are just crazy for it. But I just feel like nobody's come out and going, here's some 0 sugar cheesecake. It's like, if you're having cheesecake, you're having cheesecake. Take it on
Yeah.
the chin. If people
Sugar
if your dad sent you in school for a couple of years, is giving you Coke, there's a bigger issue there.
But I turned out all right. that's the moral of the
Average
story.
score there 2.8, and I think that's probably about right.
Yeah,
You didn't take Craig's out of
No,
consideration.
Craig doesn't.
Explain to him why.
Because he's an amateur. He's an amateur.
I'm also
And not just you. Anyone that sits in the hot chairs.
I'm
are
also very easily pleased. I think I'd have probably given it a 4 if I had.
It's fifth ring. It's a 10. It's a 10.
I'm definitely giving the one I brought.
I think we need a minimum amount of appearances from my guests. Repeat appearances
think-
before they can be
before that,
considered for
yeah.
scoring.
There only is like I think we only got a couple of actual Christmas drinks.
Yeah.
But the
But
I think it's if you want to be Christmas flavour,
That'd be treat. For your brunch, before you have your big
if you want
dinner.
a Christmas brunch, when I put this on, I'm like pure talking down.
Right, so
I've got a
as I
poster
say,
for you
we're
as
on
well.
we're
Oh,
on
thank
Christmas. We're on Christmas. So let's talk gifts.
Did you get me something?
No, I didn't get you for
I
that.
did see some
jeez.
stuff wrapped up around the
None of
studio. and
that.
I was
I seen
just
that. I
like,
seen that weeks ago. And
for a minute I was like, Andy
I was
has
like,
the
maybe
type of
that's
guy
what
who
Christmas
like,
is.
look guys, I'm just going to be that guy. You've got nothing prepared, but I bought you guys a bunch of stuff.
PlayStations.
Aye,
Ah,
exactly.
Didn't do that. Didn't do that. But what's the best gift you've ever got, Craig? You're the guest. I'm starting with you. Best gift you've ever got at Christmas.
I've been. Do you know what? I've been very lucky. My parents and my girlfriend have always got me really, really, really good gifts.
The single one of them out.
I know.
Who's the best out of those? Who's the best person out of those people?
all
You just
those people.
listed?
I got a camera for like a Christmas maybe like 10 years ago, and I kind of use that all the time.
You definitely went deep into that.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
so-
a pretty good lifespan for a Christmas gift.
Yeah.
If you know what I
Yeah.
mean, if you think about it.
Well, I don't
Changed
use the
my
same
life.
camera, but it got me into it.
Was that camera 10 years ago what got you into photography?
Yeah, pretty much.
That's cool.
And Ross in the band actually did photography at college.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did he?
He's like he's better. Yeah. He's better than me. Like if he like tried at it, he just kind of gave up really
I don't think I've
quickly.
ever seen one photograph he's taken, other than of his kids.
No, well, he's really good.
I mean, it doesn't shock me considering his dad
Yeah.
Yeah.
did what he did. With
He used to do the Twin Atlantic press shots. He just used to set up,
he was
set
just
up a
never in
timer. Put his dad in instead
Then he's
of
got
Ross.
Stevie Kelly standing in place, just shouting all the answers at him. Like, just do this, Stevie, and look handsome and hit that photo.
Nick, what's your best Christmas present?
So my brother and I were. I was gonna say, well,
We're brothers.
we're close enough age wise that we could share presents. Sounds sad, but it's not. We would kind of like we'd have a sort of confab and be like, let's tell Mum we want an N64 this year, kind of thing. So we could
pull
like,
your
pull our present
credits.
together. So one year we got GoldenEye N64,
There you go.
and that was just like a Christmas miracle, man.
Aye,
It
so
was just like
that would have been like solid 48 hours playing straight after that.
that's what
probably.
we did, man. We just rattled through GoldenEye. I think what me and Johnny used to do would be like, we'd do a level each, and then complete it, and then redo it, and change the levels. Like, you go first and I go second.
That's so diplomatic for two brothers to be
Yeah.
like, this is how we're going to plan this.
I'd
out,
have
and
thought-
so we all can all
Johnny's probably going to watch us and be like, that never
I
happened.
never,
That's
I never got a shot.
We did have a shot at that, and then do you know what's weird? I've replayed GoldenEye since.
It's rubbish.
In fact, I played GoldenEye last Christmas, like at my
That's
cousin's.
whether you go as a wham, this is a wham song. So that's two, we're home for two.
like that, but I don't know. So I played that last Christmas
Oh,
at
could
my
I get another
cousin's.
one in there? We had gifts because 2 became 1.
Oh,
Wait, you
We
did?
missed it. We
You
missed
did?
it.
That's
Yeah,
not
is it?
Oh, did
the
it?
Spice Girls song's not a Christmas song.
Yeah, it
it's
is. It's
got a
Christmas
vibe.
number 1.
Yeah.
That doesn't mean it's a Christmas
You're
song.
talking to a quizmaster
They
here.
all had snow stuff on in part of the video.
That's just what they wear anyway.
No, it's snowing. It's in London and it's snowing.
Well,
Where was I going?
GoldenEye does not.
GoldenEye
it
last
doesn't
year.
hold up.
No, so I could bolt that of it after like 5 minutes.
It's a hugely overrated.
listen, this-
It's a pretty
but see, at the
overrated game.
time-
Yeah.
Hours
Aye, but
invested in the multiplayer.
Once you've played 20 years
Paintbrush
of computer games
mode.
since then.
Hand chopping mode.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
a lot of mods.
But there's no.
Golden Gun mode.
It was the first game where people were like, right, what's then that multiplayer
Aye,
and stuff.
multiplayer.
So it was a big deal like that.
Do you ever play with your brother where you would like say, "Oh, don't look at my side of the screen,"
Aye, that-
where he's like, "Look, you see where you are when you're fighting against each other." And
See, to be honest, me and Johnny were like, he's more into it now, but like we were mad gamers. Like,
Understatement.
the idea of like looking at each other's screens was
It was
we were just too,
unsportsmanlike.
we were just too focused on your own screen.
Unsportsmanlike.
Like we would like if you were playing FIFA, you'd have to put that's when it would be you'd have to put a pillow over your hand.
for the penalty.
For penalties.
that's crazy. What about you, Al? What's your best gift?
I mean, so my brother's a lot older, so
The gift of life.
I kind of grew up like an only child. So
I'm
no, I
the
did.
exact same. I'm the exact
That's
same.
true.
No,
So
I
like,
see.
I honestly, I was pretty spoiled growing up, even though I'm not like from a rich family, but I was definitely spoiled. It's a bit cliche, I don't want to sound, but the first, when I got my turntables, that was just kind of like, it was a bit crazy because I'd had like fake versions. My dad was like,
Fisher Price one.
there's 2 record players, knock yourself out. And I was like, this is not what.
It's not the same.
It was the point that, so they took me before Christmas to like a place that it's not even there, it's in like up Queen Margaret Drive or something, and like I basically picked it out, and then they were like, right, cool, you're getting Christmas Day. So I was like, I knew exactly what was happening,
Ah.
but in the tradition of it, they were like, nah, it's not happening. And I'm like, I know it's in here somewhere. Why are you doing this?
Just
to
come
me?
here.
They were like, you've got 2 record players up there, just go nuts. But that was just like this thing where, you know, I was like, I had it for years after that, and I was like, I've got a wee video, like a home movie video of me like when I got it, and I'm just like a wee bubbling kid, man. And I was probably about 15 at the time. I was just like,
The
is changing.
one I remember is a Rally Wildcat bike.
I
It
remember
was,
this.
it was the one with the plastic box and all
Aye.
around it, the wee computer on the front.
Boss. So boss. Probably worth about $3,000 if you had if you go on
Aye.
eBay, I bet, to get one.
Yeah.
Now it's like
What is
It's
this?
like, just a bike, it was like a normal BMX, but this wee like kind of crap LCD screen on the handlebars and a wee button beside your handlebar, and you pressed it, and it
no
just
idea
made
what
like
you're talking about.
mad
That's crazy.
rally noise. There was a smaller version. It was the
For some
Rally
reason in my
Tiger
head I was
Cup,
thinking,
think.
oh, you know, there's like my uncle had a bike like this with a chopper.
that's a bit
Aye.
before Andy's time. Man.
I thought I was bang on both your times.
No. But Rally Wildcat, and I remember just
Rally Wildcat.
Yeah.
like cutting about in the snow that morning and Christmas. It might not even have been snowing, but that's what I've told myself, and it was just cutting about out in the scheme on my bike. And
I
I
got a bike when you I got me and Johnny, like that's what I'm saying. Me and Johnny always get the same. We either share the present or they pretty much the same
Yeah.
things. Like I don't even know how my mum would do it. It'd be like one year we got BMX. I think I would probably take the lead. BMX bike this year, mum. Cool. No, Johnny, you're getting one and all.
that's Johnny's
And,
definitely remembering all of this differently.
And
from me.
like, but it was like with stunt pegs,
Aye.
and like, I had like a silver one, he had a blue one, but they were almost the exact same,
Yeah.
but like dimensionally small and everything.
Yeah.
Like I just didn't think that all these places were just as if they're like catering for brothers. Like they can't have anything different. They need to be roughly the same thing. Do you know what I mean?
I didn't. When I came down the stairs on Christmas Day, I was like, "Oh, for me." I was just
Because you and
like,
Stevie are
Aye.
like similar ages.
Yeah, well, actually,
Not like
No, there's probably the same difference between you and
yeah,
Johnny.
he's like a year and a half younger than me, but funny story. Well, not
You're-
funny,
I thought you were
traumatic.
The younger brother.
Are you kidding?
No,
I
no, no,
genuinely
no.
thought that
No,
Stevie
no.
was older.
He's-
It's because he's so manly.
He's definitely more manly and
Just we
more-
were actually talking about this before. You put a photo up on Instagram a couple of days ago of Stevie with the welding hat.
He doesn't
on.
look like my brother.
He is. Then that was so much man in one photograph that I couldn't take it.
I know.
That
I
was
know,
a man's advert.
I know.
He could have advertised anything.
he could have did the Diet Coke.
That could have been Diet Coke, could have
yeah.
been Power Tools, could have been Aftershave, could have been Levi's.
Coke Zero Cinnamon.
It doesn't matter.
I remember once
I'd buy it.
my brother got in a fight
it does
outside
it.
the
Shocker.
QMU. You were probably events manager at the time, Andy. And I tried to stop him by jumping on his back, and he still hitting the guy with me on his back. I was like a wee cape, just like flipping about. But funny story, or not actually traumatic Christmas story. When Home Alone 2 came out, must have been the Christmas after. Oh no, it could have been like that Christmas. So I wanted a Talk Boy.
Yeah.
I was like, I think it was like a pretty big present that year.
It
And it was like the top present on my list. And my parents, I'm assuming accidentally put it in his pile. And he opened it and was like, and then I was like, oh, I think that's meant for me. He was like, nope. And just took it and just like
Your
denied
parents
it.
in this total dilemma of like,
Yeah.
what do we do here? What do we do?
And and to this day they're like, oh, I don't know what happened. And I was like, check my list. Check my list. It definitely wasn't on his.
You're like, I got a date. I've got a date on this. Like,
What's that thing?
I didn't ask for
got
barbells.
I got it done for when I got my passport for Canada. Like, what did they call it when you go and see like a notary?
it's like a notarized
His
letter.
list was like been notarized.
signed by a witness.
I've taken it to a lawyer and a judge. And they
That's
have,
so grim, man.
Stephen, oh, you're a talk boy.
You bet he still got it.
I had a talk boy second hand. Somebody borrowed it. I borrowed it off someone. Stole it off someone.
Did you steal from my brother?
But you know what I used it for? Two things. One, I would tape music channels and make tapes.
It's cool.
Another thing I would do, more mental, I would tape the commentary from the wrestling, and then me and my pals would go and wrestle with the tape booming through the thing, and it'd be like you would try and like if like the guy would like call it, like pure like
You get the pin at the same time.
try and get the pin and all that.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Right, let's go on then with drink number 2. And Al, it's your turn.
Yep, if you don't mind handing them out, Andy.
Now we did do this because it's kind of Christmas,
Yes.
and I know these aren't Christmassy,
This
but
is
we did know that Craig really wanted to do this on the show.
But they are
Did you-
they are
oh,
special.
Was it this, or was it a different flavour, Craig? You're like, I've never seen this before.
I have never, but it's the coolest bottle I think I've ever seen.
Did you not say you wanted to do the blue? Oh, you said
I went to
you wanted to do a blueberry drink, and it was
Yeah,
another
yeah.
one of these, a
It was.
Ramune.
Ah,
I have never ever had Ramune.
never.
Never.
So
You're in for a treat.
let me break it down real quick.
How sturdy is this table, by the way?
Something's about to go down.
We'll find out. I did.
Oh, I
build-
don't know with the mics as well.
I did build it. but,
Everybody relax. We're good.
It looks good.
The first time I had this was a yo sushi. It was a weird thing in the menu. I said, "What is it?" The guy said,
I was
like,
with you.
Yep, he said it's like Japanese lemonade.
Japanese lemonade.
So I was
That's
like,
on the back.
so I was like, lace me, and he was like, do you want me to open it for you? And I was like, nah, mate, I'm a big strong boy. And then he just like smirked and gave me the bottle, and I was super confused. And much like maybe you guys are now. So
I mean, thankfully there is instructions on the bottle.
So yep, there is a kind of visual aid if you're.
Are
You know
you
what I
showing
mean?
them the thing in the close up?
I've done. Yeah.
So yeah, if you guys
So
remove your sheath.
I can't get my sheath off.
Your sheath is stuck.
I got it.
take that off.
Is that a Christmas song?
Then so
So
then this
It's like
wee
a
guy-
little like.
so from the top
Nipple.
here on this green thing, you got like a kind of middle section. Pop it out like this.
right,
Pop
Where'd
your
you-
thumb through.
Oh, this thing.
Ah.
Yep. So this comes into two parts.
and then you put that bit on.
Correct. Now. So
I
this is
don't know
the,
if
this
we
is
should
the
do it
only
from
part you
table.
need. If we should do it off the table.
I mean, the mics are going to blow up here, aren't
That's fine.
they?
It's
I'll
all
just punch my mic anyway.
Right. Well, let me let me show you. Maybe I'll go first, and then if I mess up, that's on me.
Do you think maybe
Hold your ball steady, and you just nice steady pressure.
Or just push it down?
Right. Just nice. You don't need to bump your hand. Just steady pressure.
oh, I'm into this.
Right. And then that's this. That's you. You're open. There you go. There we
Sounds
go.
Now, you should have done yours on the close up.
Nah, I've done it now.
It sounds like it's in
So
pain.
there's a wee. So there's.
I'm going to move my mic down just so they get the full.
Feel free.
So there is a wee ball inside that.
A marble. Yeah. I don't.
Whoa.
Like, sometimes this is called marble soda.
Right, can I get a clean audio for this, please?
It sounds like a wee dog.
It sounds like a dog getting
No.
run over.
I mean, it smells brilliant.
That's so cool.
It's a very like get a swig.
I am-
It doesn't smell like lemon, it smells like bubblegum.
Yeah, that's what we said the first time around.
What's the wee ball do?
Beware, it's quite a strange bottle to take a slug from because this
Yeah.
this marble
The,
kind of
ball, the marble
clogs
actually
it up.
stops all the
Ooh.
juice going through the hole.
I really like that.
Yeah, I'm into that.
It's
See,
kind
'cause-
of blueberry as well.
See, because the hole is like so big on that. Like if the marble wasn't there, it was just. I know you're trying. You're always
just waiting for a minute.
You're like that.
We don't do that's what she said on the show, do we?
No, it's
we've not
that's,
done that. It's juvenile and
yeah.
It's,
But-
it's got like a wee face, like a wee owl's
I think
face.
that's the side you're supposed to drink it from, so that the marble doesn't got to stop. I think.
Ah.
Andy,
This
that's
is
that. Andy, that is the first I've realised that.
So if you go the other way, the marble comes up and stops all the drink coming out.
Ah.
So try and drink from the opposite side, and the marble goes
Did you
off.
Google this?
No, I've
Hold
never
on.
had these before.
What are you talking about?
Right,
does,
no,
it
you're
blocks
drinking
it.
the wrong way round.
He's so
Yeah,
right.
yeah, it
You're
blocks
drinking
it.
the wrong way round.
No, I'm trying it different ways.
Oh right, okay. No, I wasn't doing it the wrong way.
So is that for your thumb?
No, it just stops the marble going
It
into
stops
your...
the marble. Dude, I've had so many of these, and I wrestle with the marble. I'm like a marble wrestler.
Does this cost like £40? This bottle?
It's actually
40,
not
so
that
cool.
expensive.
40
You get it in Sainsbury's.
40 yen, man.
What?
Bottle dial.
You get it in Sainsbury's?
Bottle dial.
It's, it's competitively priced,
I'm really into that.
but it's definitely blueberry bubblegum vibes.
It's not lemonade. That's not lemonade at all.
But they just I think they just call it lemonade.
Do you keep the marble?
What do you can't get it out.
You could, but we can.
See, if I'm a Japanese school kid and I'm growing up with this as my own brew, I'm
are
smashing these and
smashing.
getting
Ah,
that
yeah.
thing out, man.
Yeah, you play Marbies with it.
That's really cool.
Right.
Playing what?
Marbles.
Marbies?
Aye. I'm for Paisley shop. Right, Al, you brought it.
Paisley had marbles.
You brought it to us.
This is such
What
a-
you scoring?
For me, I've had it a million times. It's basic, but it never fails. Clean, refreshing, very interesting. A wee bit of a
Sounds like an
experience
advert.
in opening the bottle. I'm gonna go high. See if you never had one of these. You heard it here first. It's a 3.6.
I mean, I've never ever had one. Didn't know what to expect, and it's exceeded all expectations. The theatre of opening it was brilliant. I'm going 3.9.
It's a
Can you
strong-
have no expectations but still not know what to expect? That does sound like a paradox.
I don't know.
What drink, Craig?
I'm giving it a 5. It's the most exciting drink I've ever owned. And
You've
it
ever owned?
yeah, and it tastes really nice too.
It's
I-
also got a slightly percussive
Yeah, that's
element.
right.
It's- Yeah,
This is right.
you
it's
could
right in my
rack.
alley.
You could rack a few of those up.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I'm 5.1.
I love this.
5.1.
Case in point, why guest scores do that. Throws the whole leaderboard right off.
The one thing I don't understand about this drink for Andy is that I know it doesn't taste a whole lot like it, but it's similar to a cream soda vibe. It's
know
very,
you're-
very mellow.
It's
It is mellow, but then so was 7-Up Mojito.
Yeah, but I just mean like when we did cream sodas, you were like,
I don't like cream sodas.
no, I know, but like
soda.
I don't think there's much difference in something like that.
It's
Just
Less
gauge your
vanilla.
score.
what's the score?
3.8.
This might not be the last appearance from this
3.8.
brand,
Yeah.
as there is a good few other flavours.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
really?
Some very interesting ones.
The interesting, we've got a blueberry one in stock, which is weird because if somebody told me this is blueberry, I'd be like, cool.
Yeah, definitely got a wee blueberry tinge off of it. I'd buy this. I'm going to buy this.
That gives it an average score of 3.8.
There you go.
3.8.
That sounds bang on
That's
to
pretty
me.
high. That's not too bad. In
It's
fact,
a good drink. I might be on the leaderboard now.
no, just miss out. Third place is 3.9. So Doritos Mexican Cola's got 3.9.
Sometimes Christmas wishes do not come true.
What's your top one?
So just give you a reminder, the top three. In third place, Doritos Mexican Cola. In
Yes.
second place, Doritos Guava. And in first place, Club Rock Shandy.
Classic.
Unbelievable.
You had any of them, Craig?
I've had the Doritos Mexican Cola.
Shout out
Do you like?
Yeah, I really liked it.
We'll give you a care package when you leave.
Oh,
with-
really?
with some of them all in it.
Will we?
Are you seeing that right now?
Have we vetted that with the rest of the crew?
Well, we've got some. It's
He's
fine.
like, I paid for it. Oh,
It's like,
The way we've got this set up right now, we actually can't see from here the stock levels, but
Yeah.
I think Craig will be
very
he'll be
impressed.
impressed. Yeah.
We can do a grand reveal.
okay, right,
start.
we did best gift, and I think that was actually quite went well into that because it was a
Yes.
gift for Craig because I thought he liked it
Fuck,
and
I
wanted
can't
to
wait to
do
see what you've
it.
got for a worst gift.
It was a gift.
But what is the worst gift you've ever received at Christmas, Al?
Honestly, this is kind of tough because I don't. Do you know why? Because I think when I was a kid, I would get really good gifts and see anything that was kind of rubbish. I just wouldn't even give it a second thought.
You just
Sort of
forgotten
thing.
about it.
Yeah, I mean, like I would get a lot of stuff. I would honestly say my worst gifts didn't come from my parents. It usually comes from other acquaintances or weird relatives that don't have a clue.
Yeah.
See, honestly, when I was a kid, I didn't really play football, but yet some people would like send my answer that would be like, oh, there's a football or there's goalie gloves, and I'm just
Yeah.
like,
Goalie gloves.
I was like, well, I like cooking, so just like anything that was. I had no interest in football. I was mostly just chilling.
See, I've got two that I remember. One, I must have been about 15 or something at the time, and my mum's mum, got me a pullback jet fighter plane. Like, you pulled it back and it went, meh. And it was like a toy for like a 8-year-old. And I was 15, and I'm like,
15.
I was like, what? And there was like a ninja action figure with it as well, and I'm like, what are you doing?
Was she a bingo player?
Yeah, won that at the bingo. But then the other one was more recently, and the more I think about it, actually might not even have been a Christmas present, but it was still a bad gift, and it was my now wife bought me tickets to Go Ape, the like climbing trees and all that kind. And I hate heights. We fell out halfway around it, and I went and sat in the car while she finished it.
Really?
Pure fell. I was like so close to driving away. Because I was like, why the fuck did you buy me this? I'm scared of heights.
So you're just up the tree, just screaming.
Aye, pure arguing with her, and then I just ditched her. I was like, I'm away. I went and sat in the car while she finished it.
That's amazing. She's like, what are you doing?
It
You're
sounds like you're
I'm
the
just
worst.
I'm just booking your birthday gift to Go Spiders.
Sounds like the maybe you were her worst gift.
Maybe. Craig, other than Stevie stealing your Top Boy, you get any bad gifts?
Yeah, and I'm gonna stick Stevie in it again.
Feel free, mate.
we got off an auntie one year. We got
You got off with your auntie one year?
that was the best gift. She got us matching lunch boxes. Well, and my brother phoned her to ask her where the other presents were.
Damn, son.
Where they phoned her?
Yeah, and
She's just lucky he never turned up.
I know.
God.
Body slammed her.
Was there
and
any brand on the lunchbox? Was that a brand? Or was
nah,
it
they
just a
were
more-
just one was purple and one was green, and my parents were like went mental at him. But I got brought into it too, and we both had to phone and apologise.
If I was a parent, I would have went mental at the auntie. I'd have been like,
Why'd you get him?
what's going on here? What did we do?
So grim. So grim.
She'd gotten us lots of good presents before that.
Yeah.
And I think it was more like
Tough year.
where was it?
Just a tough
As a
year.
kid, you can't understand. Like, she's like, look, Uncle Joe lost his job 7 months ago. We just haven't told anyone, but look, this lunchbox is for Christmas. But there's some exciting opportunities in renewable energy happening next year. So just hold tight.
Nick, what's your worst?
I didn't really have any bad ones, but there was one year my dad had. So he wrapped this huge. It was like, you know when you feel something, you're like, that's clothes.
Clothes.
And you're like, ah, man, what is
Open
this?
it quickly.
So you open it. I opened it and I was like, out of pure sadness, didn't even pay attention to it. And I opened it and I was like, if I'd looked at it, I would have realised it was his jumper. Like, just one of my dad's pure stick-on jumpers. I would have just known, oh, something's inside this. I was like, oh, thanks. I didn't even open it. Put it down, man. And he's like, do you not like the jumper? And I was like, I'll wear it later. And he's like, look in the jumper. And my first pair of ice skates were on it.
Can you not feel the weight of it?
But no, because it, like,
His
I was a wee
dad did a huge jump on it.
I was a wee guy, but like they were like, it was just the way it was all like, the jumper was kind of like, I don't know if it was a box or something as well, but it was like, it was heavy, but I was just like, I thought it was just hundreds of clothes, and I was just like,
Hundreds of
oh,
jumpers.
like lots of.
My mum and
Get
dad
me onto the toys.
My mum and dad loved that stuff, right? See, one year, I don't know, this is maybe dating me slightly, but I don't know if you remember the age of like Amigas and Ataris as computers. So I got an Atari ST for Christmas, which I still wish I had because it's a notoriously great computer for making music on. And on Christmas Day, my mum would be like, oh, there's still gifts here, like kind of like hot and cold around the living room. And eventually I find that this Atari ST has been in the living room for like months, where I just sitting in the corner with a tablecloth over it and a light on the top, and I was just like hidden in plain sight. You evil genius, man. And my mum, they just get such a kick out of being like, he's so stupid, man. Like, he's, like, this is not even hard. See, when people go, did you ever go looking for your gifts? I was like, I mean, I'd have probably been unsuccessful. As far as I was concerned, they were in someone else's house. But yeah, they were just, I was probably sitting on it.
I watched that. There was a wee video and it kind of done the rounds the past couple of days, and it was a young lassie doing like impressions of your mum on Christmas Day, and it was brilliant. It was like, that's just a wee silly thing. That's just a wee silly thing.
That
Oh,
guy's
is that money? Is that right? Give me the money and I'll put it over
That guy's
here.
legit, by the way. He's got so many like. Is
No,
it
it was
the
a
same
young
guy?
lassie.
Oh, have you not seen the guy that does the Scottish Moz? I mean, he's not watching this, but shout out that guy, man. He did basically, like, I was just going to show you after it, but it's funny, man. It's like, basically, if you were to go on Vine and search, like, Scottish Maw, this guy's, like, doing the pure, like, sort of neddy Scottish Maw. Like, but every scenario, in the supermarket, fuck's sake, there's Christine, man. Fucking do I see her today, man? Then the next one will cut to, he's like, oh, Christine, I didn't see you again.
But no, the Christmas one was a belter because it's just it was pure memories.
But she actually, in one of them, what she says, is that all she's got you?
Aye.
And that's
There's
like,
probably something else. There'll be something else in the bag.
there must be something inside that lunchbox. Their mum's got tipped up.
Right,
Well, that was up a nicer.
bring us the worst gift.
Oh, aye, we were talking about worst gifts, and now it's time for me to bring you a gift.
I already know what this is, and I'm not
it the
looking
worst?
forward to it.
So
Straight off the bat, I'm like, the Dr. Pepper loser lost it on this, man.
this is
Thank you,
IKEA's own.
Dr. Pepper.
Yes, you did hear me say that right. IKEA's own festive drink, and it's VINTERSAGA.
VINTERSAGA.
Has anyone got a translation for that?
Well, weirdly, it seems their entire Christmas line is called VINTERSAGA.
Okay.
And I only found this out a couple of days after I'd bought this. So like their Christmas paper, the lot is all called VINTERSAGA.
It's the saga of winter.
No, and I did read it. Do you know what? I wish I could remember, but it
wish
was
you could read
VINTERSAGA. I think is the warm feeling around the festive period or something
okay.
like that. Is what
So it's
they
like a
said.
version of Hygge.
Here you go.
Hygge?
Yeah. So
Swedish style festive drink. Hops and malt flavour. Yum.
hops and malt flavoured.
Sounds like a beer.
It
Yeah.
does a wee bit.
Now I showed this to our friend Kneale, good friend of the podcast.
Good friend of the podcast.
And Kneale lived in Sweden for quite a while.
Yes.
And he laughed when I showed him it. He's like, we used to clean the toilets with that in the pub. So let's get in about it.
I don't
get-
believe
To
that.
get it like 4 litre things.
I don't believe that.
Oh,
Neil.
that smells like paint.
Oh, I do believe that now. Oh,
Well, that smells like paint.
I've not even cracked the seal and the smell has seeped out.
what is
Dang.
it? Smells like.
Paint.
Nah.
I quite like the smell of paint.
Did you ever
Before
get
we
glue for
went to
Christmas?
school, our dad would let us huff paint. Right, and away we go.
I just don't even want
That's
to taste
complex. It's not.
There is so much to that.
Aye, it's
this. That is
it
dank.
tastes a bit like it's a bit like paint, but it's not.
How much
Sorry.
paint were you drinking?
It's a right tasty paint.
It's definitely quite. It is a wee bit beery. It's
barely
like a flat
carbonated.
beer. It's like a flat beer.
It's an ale.
That's an ale.
But here's a question: a couple of sidebars. First of all, why wouldn't IKEA be in like pretty much the place where everybody buys their furniture?
Yes.
Why would they not just make the most bog standard simple drink that everyone's like, oh, I got this for IKEA, it's lovely. Right? This is a thinking man's drink. And the other thing is like,
I've got one for you. Why is there a pigeon on the front of it?
Well, I was going to say, do you not
It's
like
a
that?
robin.
No, that's not a robin.
he's ice skating as
It's a
well.
pigeon.
That's a pigeon with a hat on.
100% a pigeon.
Think it's a pigeon?
No doubt
Yeah.
about that.
Aye, it's a robin.
Surely that's gives the bonus points for you.
Aye, it would, if it was a robin, it would have a
Christmas robin.
breast. It would have a breast. There's no breast on that.
There's a guy that appreciated his first pair of ice skates.
What, the pigeon?
He's got a jumper on as well.
See if you're in Sweden and you're at a bustling Christmas market
This is gross.
and it's vibing, and the guy comes up and he's like, "Oh, would you like to try it?" That's not a very good Swedish
Oh,
accent.
what was that again?
That's pretty good.
Oh, would you like to try some of this VINTERSAGA? And it's like, and you're like, oh, I've got my hat scarf, and he gives you that. I bet you're just right in the zone.
No, you're
But
not.
when IKEA stings you with a 500ml plastic bottle, a wee bit of the romance is lost.
Is it? Would it be better like warmed? Is that a warmed like a mould thing? Is there maybe something in that?
No,
Not
it's,
carbonated.
It's not
Dude,
that
that's okay.
carbonated though.
That's rubbish.
Yeah, it's like
I like it.
Nah, it's bad. I mean, that is up there with one of the worst gifts that I've ever brought to you.
Yeah, sure.
I'm going to give that a 1.2.
I'm going to match that 1.2 as well.
1.2. Not even talking about it. It's just for 1.2.
1.2.
I don't know.
Craig, what are you thinking?
That's a 5.1.
5.
It's a 5.1 for me.
Lose.
I'd still give that a 3.5.
Oh, strong.
You
No,
would
wait.
queue up
No,
for
no, wait.
IKEA
I
to
gave
get
the
that.
Coke 3.5.
Ah, you give
But
that.
Hold
that-
on. Can I just, like, your amateur scores are all over the place. Let me set a scene for you. Would you queue in IKEA for that?
No, but no, I wouldn't
No.
queue. I wouldn't queue for an IKEA right now for a lot of things, man, because it's like, it's mental.
Yeah.
A 10-man queue.
For
At the front door.
If I told you,
Dude, IKEA's way far away
if
from my
I
house.
told,
haven't you?
if I told you that
I'd send you.
you could get like, I don't know. Let's just
Rock
say
Shandy?
there was
A Billy bookcase?
Aye, there was like rock shandy. What I'm trying to get to is like, let's say you can't get any soft drinks. Soft drinks are off the market for the day.
Everyone's locked.
Been banned.
But you can get a rock shandy if you wait 20 deep. You'd go for it.
Aye, but that's not a rock shandy. That's
I know it's a fuck.
I think that's the point he's trying to make. Look,
Like Craig's just for throwing like 3 points.
I know. Well, I gave the Coke 3.5.
Would
so
you tell your mum to go and queue up at IKEA to get this? Put it that way.
So what score are you
Yeah.
going with? Well,
I'll go for. I'm gonna crank my Coke up to 4 and give this a 3. I'm not gonna be asked.
He's cranking the coke.
if anyone has hit home why the guests aren't at the school, mate, you're like, I'm just going to revisit that last score tweet.
Do you know
it.
so wait a minute. Coke's got a 4. Ramone's got a 5.1. And VINTERSAGA's
Literally
got
off
a
the
3.
scale.
The problem is Craig's
5.1.
not had fizzy juice in 10 years. So
Yeah,
the
yeah.
baseline's way off. His
This
mind's
stuff's
just all over the
amazing.
place right now.
They should
Al,
sell this.
what's your
Eh,
score?
It's pretty funky. I'll go just less. I'll go 2.8.
2 point. What?
I quite like it, but I don't want to recommend that people go and get it because I feel like I'll experience
Would
a
you buy that
backlash from
again?
that.
No.
I would pick it up.
No, you wouldn't.
That's a 1.7. 1.7 on the average for that one.
That's too high for that.
If ever we wanted to get someone on board to give us vouchers, IKEA wouldn't be a bad choice.
Yeah,
No,
yeah.
yeah,
you
fair
guys
enough.
want-
I mean, can it be like if you want a festive Scandinavian drink?
This ain't it.
That's not the one.
That's not. I know. it's
And
not
I tried to get the one and I
I
couldn't
know.
get it.
What's that one?
It's called Yulbrus.
Yulbrus,
It's
yeah.
basically
Christmas
like
soda.
Christmas soda.
It's
Yeah.
delicious. Man.
Aye, we tried to. I tried.
I'm on a
I
waiting
tried,
list.
but-
Still can't get it.
Yeah.
But the
There's not a lot of Norwegian expats in the UK for some reason because they're like, nah, happy where I am.
Right, so what date are we on now? 17th? This is the 17th, so I mean, we're just a week and a day away from Christmas Day. This will come out on the 20th, so you'll be listening to this not long before Christmas. What you've got
Anticipation of
planned
the
then? What's your Christmas traditions that yous do that you think not, or like what's your specific things that your family do? What you got planned?
not this year because of like COVID, we're kind of like not doing the same.
Vibes.
Not the same. Like just with the rules and stuff, kind of keeping it like. I'm not all getting together basically. So, but one thing we usually do is get these crackers.
Crackers.
So there's two like it's like kind of like party crackers that we usually have.
You mean like Christmas crackers or?
Yeah, Christmas crackers. And what you do is like so one of them, you open them, and each person gets a whistle, and somebody's a conductor, and you point.
this
What
up
the
as you
fuck
go
is
along?
he
You
talking
point
about?
at them, like so you point at people around the table. So it's like so you would have like whistle 1, 2, 3, 4, right? And like wish you a Merry Christmas would be like 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4, 1, 2, 2, 1, 2, 1, 4. And you're like,
Am I dreaming?
There's 8
Matt,
people.
what's going on here?
what's the thing? You can. So I was a conductor, and like it was like.
Oh, in
Six
each of the
or
whistles a
seven.
different note.
Aye, different pitch.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah.
Right.
So you go
I'm
like
never. Where do you
it's
get
fun
these?
because it's like you never get it right.
Aye.
Everyone's like you're like 1, 2, 1, 3, 4, 5. Come on, Uncle Donald, let's go.
Aye.
Like that kind of stuff. And then the other set of crackers that we usually get after that one is
2 sets of crackers.
it's like a game.
Balling out here.
We
at
have hundreds of crackers. Like we have crackers on the table, and then these are the fun crackers. The other set of crackers is like
We're the guest
usually-
crackers. Don't know them. They're the guest
so. The
crackers.
last year's great, like last year's second round crackers were
A 3-course
wind up penguins,
I've seen
and then you race them.
Yeah.
So like we all like you get them at the starting line, and like people are cheating and stuff, and it's like go, and then you're one penguin's going around in circles, and like me and my uncle have got a side bet going and all that, and it's fun. Man.
Man,
That's mad.
It's good times.
definitely, man. I don't want to tell you about my.
I can't even go anywhere for there.
Just away me last. I love Christmas.
What was the question again?
The question technically
Craig,
was
do you have any
what do you
Christmas
do at
traditions?
Christmas that nobody else does? And I think Nick definitely has taken
know.
that question to heart.
I know.
Like I think that's the only. I don't think we do anything different.
The fun of Christmas. What do you like most about Christmas Day? What's the presents?
Probably as presents, but no, I guess I don't know. Is it not the same thing everyone likes? Obviously, you've got your cracker game that no one
food.
else has. But yeah, just
Food's good.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Since having kids, it's like the game has changed.
Here's one for you. When did you stop believing in Santa?
what?
Actually,
I
do you remember how young you were?
maybe 8.
Really?
It's quite old.
No, that's young.
What?
King's
I was like,
12.
Helena
I
told me
was
this,
6.
and I remember a similar thing where I was like, I wanted to believe so bad that I had to rule out that it was mum and dad. And Helena told me that a kid in her class said the other day, she was like, I've got it planned this year. This is the 2020 version. Mine was like, I'll stay awake all night. This week I was like, what I'm going to do is I'm going to like hide the iPad downstairs with the camera running. And I was just like, that might work. Like you might tape the whole thing of
You
your
might
dad
catch
trying to
something.
build a bike at like 2 a.m. And I was like, oh no, man. And I said to Lena, are you going to like email the parent and give them a heads
yeah,
up?
you've gotta
Like,
give
keep
them
your
a
eyes
heads
peeled for iPads. I was just like, right, I'll just stay awake. And then you overestimate your ability as a child to stay awake.
well, I don't like. I know my mum listens to this, but I know that like I think me and Johnny found out at the same time, but it was our. I don't know if I spoiled it for him. Went back through him, but Mum is literally in the other room with her friend rapping all our presents, and I was like,
You should pair 4-year-old John.
I was like, that's what I mean. I was like 6 or,
Why's
I
that,
was
Johnny?
6 or 7, so he was definitely like.
Why did you ruin it for yourself?
I'm like, if I'm going down, we're all going down. But Amy always says to me like, I can't believe that was like how young you were when you threw that. I was just like, did it bother me? Do you know what? I actually, quite not heartfelt, but I just mean like, I actually respect her more that my mom went to all the effort that she did than some fictional Santa Claus. Do you know what I mean?
Oh, that sounds romantic. it's the very first piece of earth-shattering news you receive as a kid.
Yeah,
It's literally the first one out. Welcome to the real world, kid.
Yeah.
Like, and it's so mad that you only get a sort of like, you get a few years of a run at
You
it.
think no Santa comes before no Tooth Fairy?
I don't care about the tooth fairy.
No, I know, but that's
It's
like.
a different game though. I mean, you're talking like a couple of quid.
I know,
a year.
but like, I'm
That's
just
just a
saying.
simple cash transaction.
But that's the first. That's surely the first bit I like.
I got like 20 quid for my last baby tooth. That was like.
Was that last week?
It was like a
The cost to slip that under your pill.
Thank you.
You're paying, there's some money in the account, and then when it eventually came out, they're like, the interest has been great on this. It's yielded really well.
Thanks, Tooth Fairy. I still believed in primary 7. And it was all the it was other kids in school that were like, "Nah, he's not real," and I was like, "Yeah, he is."
I mean, I think it'll be harder for kids now. I think they'll probably find out a lot
School
younger than
then,
we
yeah.
would have had. And
But I'm sure like the tale has sort of been modernised and updated to be more like.
Aye.
I mean, we're all roughly ages with each other. Like our version of Santa was like legit a guy in the North Pole. The elves are literally building the toys.
Is it not still that? Did it
No,
change?
it's Jeff
No, but there
Bezos.
must be like a
Jeff Bezos now.
modernisation of it all.
Yeah,
you know?
because we had to as soon as we had to
I
suspend
remember getting a
all belief in
PlayStation and being
physics.
like, how are people believing that Santa's knocking us together? He
Does that
doesn't,
check me?
he
your
doesn't
kids not all
have the
still
plastic.
Oh yeah, my kids all still believe. But I
Jeff
mean,
Bezos?
youngest
He's just
is
like-
5.
No, now man, they're at the door.
Oldest, sorry.
They're going to watch this podcast.
But see, the first time, it's like the first time your dad was like, "We're taking that fire out and we're just going to plaster over the chimney," and I'm like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, whoa!" So what's the plan? And he's like, "Oh, he's got a magic key." I was like,
It's not safe.
I don't know.
Do we even know this guy?
Craig, what did you bring for us today?
Let's get on with the next one. Craig,
We've been
brought our guest in.
we've been excited.
It's called. It looks like it's called Bangs, but it's actually called Barqs.
Barqs
It's a
Root
root
Beer.
beer. It kind of actually now looking at it, it kind of looks like it's got holly on the front, but it's barrels. With,
That looks
so
festive enough.
Let's
I mean,
pretend
it's
it's Christmassy.
silvery and red, some
It
Christmas
kind of does a
colours.
little holly with berries.
Off the bat, I know it's not sugar free because it's just not, but it's a very Diet Coke.
Ah, yeah.
Palette.
You know what I like about it off the bat?
Made by Coca-Cola
Up,
company.
up top
Ah, I didn't
says it's good since 1898.
It wasn't good before that.
Trust me.
That was the year they cracked the
You got
recipe.
the recipe sorted.
I was on Ancestry.com and there's been some reports that ancestors
Ah,
thought
man.
this was straight in there.
See,
Absolutely.
I'm not a huge fan of root beer.
Craig, why'd you bring this?
Because this is the one
It smells like medicine.
carbonated drink that I still actually do drink.
You reach for this.
Well, not only when we go to America. It used to be a kind of ritual that when the band started going to. Well, the first time I had it was actually I went to New York with my dad, and he bought it as a joke, like, oh, because I was like 15, 16. He was like, oh, I got you a beer, and then I was like, this is the worst tasting thing I've ever had.
It's a pure
And-
dad joke, man.
Yeah,
He watched you
yeah,
act drunk for a couple of hours and then he was like,
yeah, I know. It's like, had to take me to the hospital. But then I don't know. I just kind of got into it. A lot of people think it just tastes like medicinal.
no, see, well,
I like
I
it.
mess with the root beer. Andy's probably going to be your biggest hurdle
Yeah.
here. But it's just really not your vibe.
What was your first?
As a root beer stacked up against, what have we had so far? We had AW,
We didn't have the root beer though. We had the sarsaparilla.
but
which I
we
know
agreed
is-
it's similar, yeah.
It is a root beer, but it's just got something else.
I'm a
in
root
it.
beer guy. That's the only one. That is the only one we've had.
What was the first time you had root beer?
It was probably
States.
It was it probably was.
Ah, it would have been.
I was in Vegas.
I probably didn't like it the first time, or I got about half a can in. But
I don't think I liked it.
as my palate's matured, it's a go-to for me.
See,
I had it
that's,
for breakfast. I'm not even kidding.
This is
I
a
think
this is a breakfast.
we went to the in Vegas. I went to
The buffet at the thing.
the buffet,
Yeah.
and me and Johnny were just like, "Oh my god, it's finally here!"
Well, it's like the only. It's
Root
usually
beer.
when you get to the States for the first time, it's usually the only thing in the fountain that you don't really know.
Ah,
Oh,
yeah,
we don't
yeah,
have
yeah.
this, so you go for it, and then you're like, "Oh, I pure love this, man," and then you just
I
want so
mean,
badly
I
love
filled
it.
like a full.
It's not for the
huge
faint of
glass
heart.
it, and I was. So
it's one of those things, and I think I'm like this with a lot of things. If I don't like it in the first taste, I'm not going to try and force myself to like it. It's like people saying, I didn't like fish the first time I had
It
it.
was funny.
So why did you just keep eating it then? Just stop eating it,
Here's-
eat something you like.
Here's a sidebar about Vegas. So we went to like me, my mum, my stepdad Jim, and my brother Johnny went to Vegas. I think I was 16 or 17 the first time. So really going for the pure family thing and not the gambling and madness. But me and my mum went up. I'd got the root beer. We were like sensibly helping ourselves to the buffet. We're walking back with our trays, and my mum's like, "Look at what these people are eating. Like some of the plates are like scandalous." We sat down, and my brother comes back with like essentially with the fucking breakfast from Elf, with like spaghetti, maple syrup, the most insane breakfast, a chocolate milk, a root beer, the whole thing, man. Just filled these
It's
boots.
another level.
I remember being, in fact, I'd been on tour in San Francisco, and I don't know if you'd have came out, it might be just me and Barry, and we went to IHOP, and we were sitting looking at the breakfast menu, like, who is eating 2 18-ounce steaks for breakfast? And then this big trucker guy comes in, the usual, and he's like,
Let me
fucking
get
both.
let me get the deuce.
The deuce.
But have you ever been to Ponderosa Steakhouse in Florida? Right.
Yeah.
That was the first time I seen a guy sat down. What do you want? He said a Coke. Came in like a, equivalent of our pint tumbler, and proceeded to put sugar from the table, like another couple of sugars in it,
Into the Coke.
and stir it into the Coke. And I was just like, this is just
That is
something
another
else.
Dad, do you know
level,
something
man.
I don't, man?
You know something, man, about type 2. You know what I mean? I was just like, there's levels to it.
So does this particular root beer like hold some sort of value to you? Is it this one always you go for?
It's just more. This was always the one that was on the fountain. It was either this or one called Mug, which has like a little
With a
bulldog on it.
yeah.
From Once Upon a Time in
So
Hollywood.
they have the advert.
Oh,
that's
root beer.
another. You actually find that the root beers are all sort of like real heritage brands.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Around
yeah,
for a
yeah.
while.
Well, A&W is probably the other one that you would
It's
get.
Canadian, yeah.
Yeah.
But
Is it-
there's no real new root beers came out.
gap
There's
in the market.
there's tons in them. Like there's tons of kind of like I don't know if you'd call them like.
I bet there'll be like
brands.
craft
Ah, like
root beer
craft,
things.
yeah,
And,
yeah.
the like Bundaberg have a root beer.
It's
Oh,
not
yeah,
that.
it's
I'm
not-
not.
Is it not all
Before
that?
it comes on, it's not. It's nah. It's not. Is this hard?
You know
to
who
get
has
here?
a
I've
root
never-
beer?
Where did you? Was this hard to come by in the UK?
You can get us Renfrew, by the way.
Just from like one of those candy like
American
shops.
candy
Like
shops,
yeah,
yeah.
you can get there.
They sell this in the newsagents
Methodologies?
in Renfrew.
They got the
Really?
Aye.
Seriously?
Aye.
Honestly, some of the small newsagents are like
sleeper.
treasure
Aye,
chests.
sleepers.
Real
Oh, eh?
treasure chests.
Check
Except
your
if you check the sell by
newsagents.
date, it says 1898.
Still
So
good though.
Craig, you bought it.
I'm giving it a 5.
Of course. Close to 5.
Of course. Didn't expect anything less.
Nick,
So wait a minute, hold on. The Ramune's a 5.1, better than the
Yeah.
one you brought.
Well, yeah, because this was
it's a surprise.
that-
Surprise is always good.
It's because of the
yeah.
marble.
I've just never seen anything like that. That's so
theatre,
cool.
the theatre.
I would
Right.
say this is right up my street.
You don't have to be nice just because I brought it. Nick.
No, I like it, man. I actually think it's one of the better ones. 3.6.
Oh.
3.6.
Yeah, same. Like, I'd probably have to line up root beers, line up the heavy hitters next to each other to explore the nuances. But no, it's solid. I would probably go pretty close to that. I'd actually go 3.8.
3.8, wow.
See, it's definitely better than the NW one. The NW one was really medicinal. And
Have you scored it yet?
No, not yet.
Before he does score it, I'm going to say that the 3.6 and 3.8 is definitely in our taste region. Do you know what I mean? But I think for the average drinker, once
Oh,
Andy's
yeah,
score
yeah.
comes in here, you're going to be... It'll be more in line with like what people...
I'm probably going to score it higher than you'd imagine, though. I'm going to score it at 2.8, which is
Oh,
close
wow.
to being recommended.
I'm
but I'm
surprised.
saying it's not as really medicinal and strong as the NW one. It's
It's
it
much
is nice.
sweeter. and
So that gives it a
vanilla.
3.4.
That's high for
That
a
is
root beer, man.
very high, very high. That's a good score.
Yeah.
That might be our best scoring. That is our best scoring guest drink so far.
Really?
Huh?
Thanks.
There you go.
Thanks
Well
everyone.
done, Craig.
And it's been vetted by the professionals as well, mate. It's came through our
Yeah.
rigorous scoring system.
Right, one last Christmas topic. Christmas films.
All right.
Like, what's the best?
Can we guess what Craig's was? You
I mean-
said there's a
Aye,
joke
yeah,
about
okay.
guess Craig's.
Well, so we've got a it's not a sweepstake, but we've got a pool. So we'll let Craig go first.
Right.
Well,
Yeah,
like, to
yeah,
be honest, we all said the same film.
Aye,
but, like,
Yeah.
why don't whoever one of you go first? It's the
no,
same.
I just want to hear what Craig's is.
And then if we've guessed it right because we all agreed what we think it will be, we'll just applaud.
No, we'll all get the bonus drink. Because we've done 4.
Oh.
Normally we'd only do 4.
You got a bonus drink?
Aye, we've got a
I
bonus
knew that
drink.
anyway, guys.
So,
Wait, so this rests on
aye,
my
so
answer?
if we're all wrong, we don't get it.
No, we're
it's-
definitely getting it. It's Christmas. Don't ruin my Christmas. Look at me a jumper. Craig, what's your favourite Christmas film?
It's Home Alone.
Oh!
What did you think
we
it's
all
gonna-
guessed It's a Wonderful Life. Every single one.
I
is.
go see it every year. I go see it on Christmas Eve every year, but I would say it's.
Are you going to
Home
watch it at
Alone.
home this year on Christmas Eve?
Yeah, I am.
He's going to put it
That's sad,
outside
no?
the garden.
Yeah, I used to go to the
GFT,
GFT and watch
yeah,
it, but no.
Home Alone, no, I'd put Home Alone 2 above Home Alone.
I kind
No,
of put
definitely
them,
not.
I kind of bunched them
Home Alone
together.
2 is the same film.
It's
But
kind
it's
of
better.
better.
It's
It's like
better, though.
It's
yeah.
not better.
It is.
It is,
You're mistaken.
Hey, what's your favourite?
Christmas film?
Mm-hmm.
Come with me last. Let me think about this for a second.
Yeah, I mean,
Because he's the film guy.
mine is Elf. Mine is Elf.
Elf's
No
good.
doubt about it. Like,
Elf's good.
it's
I'd have
just
guessed that for you.
yeah, it's so class.
I'll get mine's probably. I mean, those are all great movies, but I'll throw one in there that I do watch every year and it's right up my street is Scrooged with Bill Murray.
Yeah,
Here-
Scrooged is...
Here
just
comes
a-
Nick with a Francis Ford Coppola B-side.
See, honestly, I don't know what mine is. I kind of like all of them, but for different reasons. But
Here's the order I would
here's
watch.
here's
Enjoy
two
all cinema.
here's two that I do like
Okay. Just ask for one, but-
completely different ones, but I don't know why I love Miracle on 34th Street. Both,
Which one?
Both of them. Like, dude, it's the same story. You're not missing anything
Yeah.
by watching either of them, but there's just something pure Christmas about it. Like, see, because the whole thing is about like no, but the whole thing's like Santa's there, but nobody believes in him,
Yeah.
and it's kind of like it doesn't really matter like when you watch that story was just always going to stay true because we're always going to keep telling kids there's a Santa or there isn't one. Do you know what I mean? And then the other one is Christmas Vacation.
Oh yeah,
Ah,
fair
yeah.
play.
Because I'd never seen it until like 2 years ago or something, and now I'm just like, I don't know how I can miss a Christmas without just. I don't even need to watch it.
I probably watch
If
that.
it's on, I'll just like, I can walk in and out the room and be like, that's amazing. Like,
Yeah.
just every little. It's almost like they've just bottled up all the best Saturday Night Live sketches that there could be, and just like it just runs. I can't even believe there's a story to it. Do you know what I mean? It doesn't makes no sense. Like to sit down and go, what is the story of this? And like, a guy is waiting on a check to build a pool, and that's like,
Aye. And it's just
and
a
it's all
series
based
of
on this.
unfortunate incidents.
and then his family
Like
turn up and he doesn't want them there. Like it's just
There's like
shouldn't work, but it does.
of the new Christmas films. I think there's actually quite a few new ones that I could see. Christmas Chronicles, Netflix. Now that not the second one that just came out this year. The first one came out last year.
It was alright.
Good. Aye, it
I
was
like
good.
that.
I don't know
And then
what that is.
Arthur Christmas.
Is that good?
Arthur
That's
Christmas is class.
That's decent.
So good.
I saw
What's
one.
Arthur Christmas?
It's like an animated.
Oh, okay.
That is good, man.
Ah,
I
good.
like
What
it.
about the Grinch one?
The animated Grinch is good.
It's
The other
the-
Grinch is
Wait,
good
that's
as
my
well.
Christmas T-shirt.
There you go, man.
You got a
Straight
Grinch
up.
t-shirt?
See?
Yeah, I'll show it
10
up.
years link.
Yes. Oh,
Oh, that's
look at
swaggy though. That's
That's
vintage.
an
So
See, I mean,
OG
Maybe
Doctors.
Christmas.
this
should
now.
actually say
You know?
you have easily got the strongest t-shirt game I've ever known of anyone in the world.
Yeah, I
Where did you even get that?
spend a lot of time looking for them.
The vintage
Really
game
sad.
Is, the vintage game is strong.
I don't know, I got this. I don't know where I got this.
That's
it's
what
really
they-
big.
That's what
why I
these
like it.
vintage guys. Oh, I can't remember. Where I got this
telling
one. Just you
I'm
can't
not
have
telling
that
you.
hookup.
A Japanese website.
I'm in my head, and I might be remembering this
That's
wrong.
money.
Did you not have a sun-kissed t-shirt?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't have it. I had a few good ones that I've seemed to lose them quite a lot as well. Had a really good
We
one.
did travel a wee bit, didn't we?
Yeah,
Well, not this year,
Ends
but
up
like
naked at Bella Paris.
yeah, give them away as presents.
Right, so it is Christmas, so we're going to do a bonus drink, and there is a reason we bought it. We've talked about this a
Yes.
lot,
No way.
and it's also one that
Merry
um,
Christmas.
Let's just say Andy's made a Christmas faux pas and the
He's
fact
left-
he's left the price tag on
price
the
tag on
top. So
No.
we all know what we're worth here.
Well,
Mine
well,
doesn't have a price tag.
You can have
Because
my
you are
priceless.
priceless, Craig.
so this is we've talked about it a lot on the show before. Fritz Kola. Now
I think it's been referred to as the German cola.
Yeah, the
previously.
German-
Scottish play.
we've talked about it a lot. I've talked about it
Break
a
a
lot
leg.
on the quizzes and stuff like that. When we would tour Germany, this would be like this was the holy grail.
Yeah,
A Burgermeister and a Fritz Kola, and that
It still is.
would be the one. Now I would import this. I would get this quite a lot, but let's
Yeah.
go. Let's go.
That's a 5 for me.
Craig's already there.
That's so good.
I love this.
I do love it, but and I would have talked up and argued with MD for ages. It's the best cola.
You still think the
But
Doritos
see,
better?
since we've had Doritos on,
You think? I know you do. I disagree. I think this is better than the Dorito.
the one thing about this, the caffeine.
Caffeine game is
The
tight.
caffeine, there's like 5 times the amount of caffeine in this as there is in a normal can of
Do you know what I
Coke.
like about the Fritz Cola? Is that on your first sip, it makes you. It almost makes you want makes you think of like Fentimans-y kind of vibes, and then as it settles on your palate, you're like, oh, this is a whole other thing here.
It's not as sweet as the Doritos,
No,
but it's more in that herbal lane. So
Yeah.
not in a bad way.
complex.
Do you know? I wish I hadn't had the root beer before this though.
Sorry, Andy.
Absolutely.
Why?
I burped there and I tasted the root beer coming back up.
Jesus.
I mean, it has been quite a dank
Snowball
lineup.
you.
It's quite. I mean, it is quite dark. Other than obviously the Ramune, that's
Ramune
quite.
was,
It's quite a dark,
aye.
dark tasting lane we've been in.
No, I mean, it's
Take your time with it. Give it its fair due.
no. I've had it before. It's solid. It's you get it.
I mean, Craig's already gave it a 5. No pressure.
I mean, I do love it.
Always caught one in the what do you call that place? Brewdog. When you're in a wee
Yeah, yeah.
Where was this week we picked this up? Roots and Fruits.
Roots and fruits.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Across from Craig's house, actually.
Yeah. I've
No,
never.
everybody knows what it was.
I live in Roots and Fruits.
There's multiple roots and fruits to be fair.
And only £1.65 a bottle. If you import this, it's usually
Do
like
you find
a lot
yourself
more.
from roots and fruits often, Craig?
I do.
You will now?
I get a lot of things from Roots and Fruits.
Particularly roots.
And
fruits.
And raspberries.
Oh, there you go.
Blueberries.
I don't. What my only kind of thing was
What's your
before we
concern
get
with
into
this?
the weeds here is should we refresh the scores? This is going up against Doritos.
Yeah.
basically.
No, absolutely not.
But
Nah,
I
that-
can
I
never
think-
remember what I scored.
Well, that's just go on feeling.
I
Use
know,
the
but
force
is it-
look.
So I'll come in with
Actually,
mine.
Star Wars is one of my favourite Christmas films.
I'm coming in with mine. I'm a 3.9 here.
Yes, you are.
3.9. So high, but it's definitely not as good as Doritos anymore. Doritos is, I'm sorry, Mr. and Mr. Fritz.
Mr. and Mr. Fritz.
Hey.
Kind of look like
Fritz
conjoined
Bros.
twins.
If Frankenstein and the monster accidentally sewed themselves
The
together,
one on the left kind of looks like Scott Brown. Doesn't it?
the footballer or the
Aye,
hardcore
you've
DJ?
just been hit in the face.
The one on the
with a
right is Scott Brown, the hardcore DJ. The one on the left is Scott Brown, footballer.
Do you know what's good? I would much rather drink this than a can of Red Bull, and it's probably got the same amount of caffeine in it. So if you need a
I have a cup
wake
of
up,
coffee, to be honest, but
I don't like coffee though. So
I mean,
But you love caffeine.
yeah,
tea? Doesn't tea have a lot of
there's,
caffeine?
there's a few coffee colas actually we need to try. But anyway,
Oh, I'm
we're
excited.
segueing.
the
Let's
Manhattan
get into that.
special.
Right, come on.
Let's get into that. So what's our scores here?
I'm gonna go.
Come on now.
It's a hitter. It is a hitter. We've known it's been a hitter
Up to the plate.
even before I arrived.
Bat of swings.
I'm gonna go.
Home run.
I'll go 4.1. Yeah, because I do enjoy it. I do
Wasn't a
enjoy
home
it.
run. I hit the bleachers.
Nick,
4.4.
It's been a while for me for this,
Wow.
but I'm
4.4.
wow.
This is the pinnacle of
kicking
cola
the
for me.
door, waving the 4-4.
Wow.
What's yours?
Well, I've already given it a 3.9. That
It's
gives
the
that
pinnacle of cola.
an average
Of
4.1, putting in equal first place
Whoa!
with Club Rock
Do they
Shandy.
know it's Christmas time?
What about my 5? I had my 5.
We'd have to sit on the roof.
So, I mean, Fritz have got, so 4.1 is up there, but they've got quite a lot of other flavours, and some of them are good. Looking forward to doing them. They do that coffee cola one.
Do you know what they do? Do you know what they do well about this cola though? Like, I know they do have other flavors, but this is the Rolls Royce of the range. Do you know what I mean?
It's Fritz.
Of Fritz.
Oh, yeah.
It's
like,
quite old school tasting. It's like Panda Pop, and I'm not saying it's like Panda Pop, but it's got that it's got that melted ice pole.
You know the good
flavour
thing
to it.
about this? See if you crack these out at Christmas on a table,
Yeah.
like for like people who weren't drinking, like you'd get big high fives.
Do you know what it looks like? See if you went to a funeral parlour to plan somebody's funeral, and the guy was like, "We've got Cokes in there, like we've got our own brand," and you're like, "Oh, that's nice."
Pure death cola.
It's like it looks like it's been
So
branded up.
embalming
It's
it.
just like, look, it's a real respectful marketing campaign.
Actually, do you remember that wedding you DJ'd in Norway
With
And
the
they had
guys-
the beer and had the guy's face on it? This looks like it could be like a
Like
gay
a
man's-
goth wedding.
a gay man's goth wedding.
But like, so they've also got Club Matt.
Is that
That's
the
Ross
mezzo?
Mendes' favourite.
No, that's Mishmash. But Club Matt is like
It's
Would
like
you say
bumped,
Ross's
bumped
favourite?
toffee. Aye, Ross.
Yeah,
Ross
it's not,
is
I'm
big.
not really into it. But
No, I'm not into
it's
it
kind
at
of
all.
like a Marmite one. I think people either love it or
Yeah. Aye, so we'll
We need
definitely
to
get
get
some
all
of
these
them.
on, man.
Yeah.
So where does Fritz Kola go? Joint top.
Joint top.
Is there any other changes on the board, Andy?
No.
yeah, all
think
mine go in as well.
Crazy's on leaderboard.
The guest board is just all Craig stuff.
As a tasting menu though, I was amazing. I loved it. I actually really liked it.
If you had to, if we had to push you to pick one
Yeah, what are you taking home in the car?
to take home,
I take the
Ramune.
Ramune.
Aye, there's no doubt about that.
Yeah,
I'm with you on
That's
that.
so cool.
That's good, man. I'm glad that that's two first tastes that have been such.
What are you taking in the car?
Plus, just on the Ramune's great to take in the car because it can't spill this
Exactly.
week.
Yeah, yeah.
Bones.
Honestly, because it's my I mean, the Winter Saga I've never had before, but it's funky. I'd probably take the root beer.
Root beer?
I think if I do the
That's,
if I do the math here, I've probably been sneakily sipping this since I cracked it. So
Well, I can't take my Ramune because I finished
there you
it.
go.
Sure, you're taking that then.
This cinnamon stuff is not worth it.
It really got left in the
The
dust
Winter
as we
Saga,
proceeded.
no. The Fritz is cold. I'm taking that, but I'm also taking the root beer. So I'm taking two. I'm double fisted in the car, so I can drive on my knees.
just to give you a wee bit of an update. So Ramune is actually ends up fourth, just missing out on a place in the leaderboard.
Okay.
No
You
shame
gave
in that.
Fritz Kola the second highest score you've ever given any drink. The highest score you've ever given was to Doritos Guava,
4.5.
4.5. So I mean, I'm pretty sure
What
the
did I
4.
give? What did I give IBC? I gave that a high score as well.
IBC, you gave that a 4.3. There's not been many 4s at all being given out.
Nah.
But
I mean, a few 5s.
On this one episode.
I've pushed up the average there.
the 4.5 and the 4.4 are the two highest scores we've ever had, both by yourself.
I don't usually go that high with most things.
So going into this festive period, if you want to surprise someone with a soda gift, we're recommending the Fritz Kola or the Doritos Cola.
Yeah, Cola, aye, definitely.
Or anything that
Or
isn't
course.
football special
or
Did you like
millions.
football special?
is rotten, man.
I like
And
football
the
special.
email
Well,
was,
mate, I've got a case of it. You can take it.
they literally got in touch with us to say sorry.
Seriously?
Sorry, don't like
Sorry,
our
you don't
drink.
like our football special.
Maybe you would enjoy one of these other flavours. We're like, yeah, I don't know, maybe.
And like that, the banana. Nope. Anyway, wrap it up, Andy.
Yes,
wrap
that's-
up like a big Christmas
That has,
present,
been,
Andy.
that has been our festive Christmas special. We'll be back with maybe a wee New Year special. We might break some rules, but thanks for joining us. Thank you, Craig, for coming along. And wait, what am I doing? I'm wrapping up. Can't you wrap anything up until I've put crown?
Are you crowning it on
Fritz
the
back
leaderboard?
up on the leaderboard.
You're going to take that down in about 2 seconds to drink it again then?
I know, but you need this for the
It's,
theatre.
ceremonial.
Alright,
The theatre.
re-wrap that present that you own by accident.
But anyway, thanks for joining us. We will see you next time. See you soon.
Bye.